It was past midnight when Daniel Carter drove down the empty highway, his old pickup truck humming softly under the glow of the moon. The rain had stopped an hour ago, but the world still smelled of thunder and wet earth. In the back seat, his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, slept with her tiny arms wrapped around her favorite stuffed bunny. Daniel glanced at her in the rearview mirror and smiled, tired, but content that he was returning from his night shift at the mechanic shop, trying to make ends meet. Being a single dad hadn't been easy since his wife passed away 3 years ago. Every night was a mix of exhaustion, hope, and quiet prayers that life would somehow get better. But that night, fate had a different plan. As Daniel rounded a bend near the woods, he noticed something, a figure standing by the roadside. At first, he thought it was his tired eyes playing tricks. But then headlights revealed her clearly, a young woman in a torn wedding dress, barefoot, shivering, her mascara streaked with tears. She looked lost, terrified, broken. Daniel hit the brakes and pulled over. He stepped out cautiously. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked softly, not wanting to scare her. The woman looked up, her eyes glistening with tears. "Please," she whispered. "I need help." Daniel offered his jacket and helped her into the truck. Lily stirred in the back seat, blinking sleepily. "Daddy, who's that?" she asked. "Just someone who needs our help, sweetheart," Daniel said gently. The woman hugged Daniel's jacket tightly. "Thank you," she murmured, her voice trembling. "I didn't know where else to go." He didn't ask questions right away. She was clearly shaken. He drove her to the nearest diner, a small 24-hour place off the highway. Inside, under the warm neon lights, she finally spoke. "My name is Isabel," she said quietly. "I was supposed to get married tonight." Daniel looked at her torn dress and nodded slowly. "I figured as much." She laughed bitterly. "To Ethan Cole, the billionaire hotel owner. You've probably seen his face on magazines." Daniel raised his eyebrows. "The one with the private jets and skyscraper hotels." "That's the one," she said. Her voice cracked. "But he didn't love me. I was just a trophy. My father arranged it all, business merger disguised as marriage." Tears filled her eyes again. "I couldn't do it. So I ran." Daniel listened quietly. He wasn't the kind of man to judge. Everyone had their own battles. When the waitress brought coffee and pancakes, Lily smiled at Isabel. "You look like a princess," she said sweetly. For the first time that night, Isabel smiled back. "Thank you, little one. You're very kind." That simple exchange melted something inside her. The warmth of that small family, something she'd never truly had, reminded her what love actually meant. Daniel offered to let her stay at his small countryside home until morning. She hesitated but eventually agreed, too exhausted to argue. His home was humble, cracked walls, old furniture, but full of love. Lily showed Isabel her room and offered her extra blankets. "Daddy says everyone deserves a safe place to sleep," Lily said proudly. That night, Isabel lay awake, staring at the ceiling. She thought about her past, the glittering world of money, control, and loneliness. For once, she felt free. Over the next few days, Isabel stayed with Daniel and Lily. She helped cook breakfast, played board games with Lily, and even joined Daniel at his workshop. She watched the way he worked hard with his hands, how he smiled even when life was difficult. It was simple, but real, and Daniel found himself drawn to her too. Not because she was beautiful, though she was, but because she was human beneath the diamonds and headlines. She laughed with Lily like a mother, listened like an old friend, and carried a sadness that he understood all too well. But peace doesn't last forever. One morning, a black SUV pulled up outside Daniel's house. 2 men in suits stepped out. "Miss Isabel Laurent," one asked. "Your father's been searching for you. The media's going crazy." She froze. The world she had escaped came rushing back. Daniel stood beside her, protective. "She's not going anywhere if she doesn't want to," he said firmly. But Isabel knew she couldn't hide forever. "It's okay," she whispered to him. "I need to face this." Before leaving, she turned to Daniel and Lily. "You both showed me something I'd never known, what love and family feel like." She knelt down to hug Lily. "Don't ever stop being kind, okay?" Tears filled Daniel's eyes as she walked away. Days passed. Life returned to its quiet rhythm, but something was missing. Until one afternoon, a black limousine stopped again in front of Daniel's house. Isabel stepped out. No makeup, no diamonds, just herself. "I told them I wouldn't marry for money," she said softly. "I told them I'd found something real." Daniel's heart pounded. "And what's that?" She smiled, eyes glistening. "Home." Lily squealed and hugged her tightly. Daniel took Isabel's hand, rough and warm meeting soft and delicate. And for the first time in years, he felt whole in that tiny house, with peeling paint and wildflowers outside. Two broken souls found what billions couldn't buy: love, trust, and family. Message: sometimes, the richest people are not the ones with money, but the ones who have the courage to love, forgive, and start over. Red Heart.